I conducted my interview with Athletic Director Allison Rich. My name is Will Tenop, and the reason I interviewed Director Rich was because she holds a position that I may one day want to hold, whether it's at the collegiate level or high school level. Um, so here's my presentation. The first question I asked her was, what do your day-to-day duties look like? She answered, there's no real typical day, basically responsible for all the operations of the athletic department, although we have a fantastic staff within each individual operation. I'm here 7 days a week at every sports game and travel to many away games as well. I have daily meetings with staff, community members, and alumni, and I also have meetings around the country with the NCAA. Question 2 was, how did you get to the position you're in today? What skills, experiences, and connections helped you the most? She answered, how I got here was I graduated from my undergrad at Princeton University and knew I wanted to work in sports. I graduated from Princeton where there wasn't many connections to the sports world. I thought everybody needs a lawyer, so I went into law school, and that's where I made my path, made connections, and figured I'd work for a team or league. I became connected with the athletic director at Loyola University in Chicago and took an opportunity to help with an accreditation review. It sounded like a great opportunity. I love the experience and have since been in many different positions at many different schools, including Florida State University and Princeton. The third question I asked was, what is your educational background? Do you have any advice on what schooling someone aspiring for your position should pursue? My schooling background, I have a bachelor's degree from Princeton University. I have a law degree and I'm licensed to practice law and also have a doctorate in educational administration. The path worked very well for me, although I think the biggest thing is finding the area of interest for you. I know people with completely different degrees that have used the education they have gotten and worked their way into this business. There's so many ways to work into athletics administration. I think everyone just needs to find the best path for them. Fourth question I asked was, what aspects of your job do you enjoy most? What aspects do you find the most difficult? She answered, I love working with the people and athletes and coaches. Talking with them about strategy is a lot of fun. I love working with all faculty and other colleagues. As for the hardest part, I would also just say the people. Sometimes people can be hard to work with. Not everybody wants the same thing, but we do our best to work to a common positive outcome. Question 5 was, how do the team players and league success impact your job? Her answer was, obviously everyone is happier when the teams are more successful. The teams and players are obviously a huge part of my job. As far as how they affect me, I still have daily meetings, events, etc., no matter what, although sometimes things fluctuate based on what's occurring with certain teams. Sixth question was, do you have any advice you'd give someone pursuing a job in your field? And her answer was, this kind of goes back to the answer I gave to a previous question. There's so many different ways to get into this field. There's no straight advice I would give to anyone getting involved in the field. Obviously, communications, business pathways probably have an easier time networking and connecting for job opportunities, but anyone can do it. For example, her. Question 7 is it more difficult to become an athletic director at university than it is to become one at high school? She said, once again, it really depends on the person and pathway taken. I'm honestly not entirely sure how different it is because I've only worked in the collegiate level field, but I'm sure the process can be very similar. And the eighth and final question was, what do your duties look like on a game day, for example, homecoming weekend? She answered, I follow a pretty similar game day routine weekly, overseeing all the operations and making sure everything goes smoothly. I'm always down on the field, meeting with coaches, players, trainers, and even fans sometimes, always having important conversations. And for example, on a bigger weekend like homecoming, she may be meeting with alumni and investors and stakeholders in the team, people who have donated, just catching up with people like that. And yeah, that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.